Welcome to our presentation on living our Laudato Si movement values. Our values guide and strengthen our movement. Our values unite and inspire all members, chapters, and circles. The great virtues of faith, hope, and charity ground our mission. Our work is deeply rooted in God's love. As Jesus taught, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. Our values, deeply rooted in faith, hope, and love, sustain our movement as it grows, and the movement becomes a home for all who join us in our mission, just as the mustard tree houses all the birds of the air. In fact, we can envision the Laudato Si movement in this way, as a living tree, made up of our chapters and grassroots members and member organizations. We are grounded in faith. Our Catholic faith motivates us to act. Laudato Si inspires our mission. As followers of Jesus, our decisions are guided by scriptures and Catholic social teaching. We serve the Church by lifting up the integrity of creation and recognizing the value of caring for God's creation in our faith tradition and our Christian lives. We are committed to living in hope. We know that things can change. With resurrection joy, we celebrate stories of resilience and life. We rejoice in this ministry as an expression of God's love in our life and for all creation. We entrust our efforts to the Holy Spirit and Mary, Queen of Creation. We value caring for one another. We cultivate a culture of care for one another, ourselves, and all living beings that share our common home. We honor each other's gifts and limitations. We celebrate our relationships. And so we take an integral approach, embracing contemplation and action and building bridges. As Pope Francis writes in Laudato Si, we must take a broader vision. Reflecting the wisdom of integral ecology, we recognize that everything is interconnected. So too is our action interconnected with and grounded in our contemplative spirituality as we learn to look on the world with God's loving gaze. Taking an integral approach means everything is connected. We embrace a worldview of integral ecology, which sees ecological, cultural, and social issues as intertwined. We commit to the protection of all human life from womb to tomb and to the protection of other species. Embracing contemplation and action is central to our ecological spirituality. We are contemplatives and we are activists. We delight in creation's song and compassionately respond to creation's cry. We practice a slow-paced ecological spirituality of reflection and prayer, and we practice fast-paced activism to match the urgency of the crisis. As partners in the work of caring for creation, we emphasize building bridges. We open space for collaboration between organizations and individuals across borders and regions. We work hand in hand with other Christians, other faith communities, and social and environmental movements as a single human family. We are committed to spiritual transformation, being prophetic in the Church and in the world. We commit to ecological conversion, the ongoing transformation of our hearts towards greater love with our Creator and creation. We take time to listen to God's message in creation with awe and wonder. We reflect on our words and actions, humbly acknowledge where we are falling short, and practice new ways of living simply and in solidarity with creation. Being prophetic means we heed the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor by urging ambitious action for ecological and climate justice. We act in solidarity with communities that carry an unjust burden of the ecological crisis, including future generations. We strategically challenge structures of sin and call for radical change while being open to dialogue. Our prophetic work is always nonpartisan and nonviolent. Being in the church and in the world means we serve alongside the whole Catholic family, from the hierarchy to the grassroots, from clergy and religious to the laity. We build relationships between the church and the environmental movement, being Christian environmentalists who are environmentalists among Christians and Christians among environmentalists. We do this work together for our common home, cultivating through the diverse gifts of all our members across many cultures to accomplish the mission of achieving climate and ecological justice. Cultivating unity within diversity is a special value, as we are nourished by the rich diversity of creation and the diversity within the church, striving for unity in caring for our common home while honoring the unique gifts each individual or organization brings. We live a spirituality of global solidarity, which unites us for globally coordinated action that is adapted to local contexts. These values express our special ecological charism, a gift of renewed dedication to care for our earth and all living creatures, all brothers and sisters in God's family. All of us in the Laudato Si movement experience this call from the Spirit to share in the work of renewing the